The Earth is not a silent rock floating in space. It is a living, breathing system, dynamic, unpredictable, and full of hidden forces that shape everything around us. Deep beneath the crust, molten oceans of magma churn like a beating heart. Entire continents drift slowly across the planet's surface, colliding, separating, and reshaping the world over millions of years. But the Earth's hidden life goes far beyond geology. There are lightning bolts that strike upward into space, invisible rivers of charged particles flowing through the atmosphere, and mysterious sounds, booms, hums, and metallic echoes that travel for hundreds of kilometers with no known source. In the oceans, underwater lakes of brine sit at the bottom like alien worlds. In deserts, rocks move across the sand as if guided by an unseen hand. In the Arctic, glowing clouds shimmer with colors that seem to come from another dimension. The Earth is not static. It is alive with motion, energy, and mystery. And most of its wonders happen far beyond the limits of human perception. Across the world, ancient cultures left behind knowledge that challenges everything we believe about human history. They built structures aligned with stars invisible to the naked eye. They carved stones so precisely that modern engineers struggle to replicate them. They tracked celestial cycles with mathematical accuracy that rivals modern instruments. How did they know these things? The pyramids of Egypt align perfectly with Orion's belt. The Mayans predicted solar eclipses centuries in advance. The builders of Stonehenge understood the movement of the sun and moon with astonishing precision. Even more mysterious are the artifacts that should not exist: ancient batteries. Precision-cut granite blocks, maps showing Antarctica centuries before its discovery, and metal alloys that should have been impossible to create with ancient technology. These civilizations were not primitive. They were advanced in ways we still cannot explain. Their knowledge hints at a forgotten chapter of human history, one that may hold the key to understanding our own origins. The human body is a masterpiece of complexity, capable of feats that defy scientific explanation. Some individuals can survive extreme cold for hours without harm. Others can hold their breath for more than 20 minutes. Some can see ultraviolet light. Others can hear frequencies normally reserved for animals. There are people who can control their heartbeat, resist pain, or perform calculations faster than computers. Some have photographic memory. Others have synesthesia, experiencing sound as color or numbers as shapes. These abilities are rare, but they reveal something profound. The human body is not limited by biology alone. It is shaped by the mind, environment, and hidden potential we have only begun to explore. What else might we be capable of if we learned to unlock the full power of our senses, our brain, and our consciousness? Nature is full of creatures that seem to come from another world. The mantis shrimp sees colors humans cannot imagine. The axolotl regenerates limbs, organs, and even parts of its brain. The tardigrade survives boiling, freezing, radiation, and the vacuum of space. The immortal jellyfish can reverse its aging process, returning to its juvenile form again and again. Electric eels generate enough electricity to power dozens of light bulbs. Octopuses solve puzzles, escape enclosures, and mimic other species with astonishing intelligence. These creatures challenge our understanding of evolution. They show that life is not limited by the rules we think we know. It is creative, adaptable, and sometimes unbelievable. Studying these organisms may reveal secrets about regeneration, aging, consciousness, and the very nature of life itself. Some locations on Earth behave like glitches in reality. Compass fail. Gravity seems to weaken or strengthen. Time feels distorted. Lights appear in the sky with no source. The Bermuda Triangle swallows ships and aircraft without explanation. The Devil's Sea mirrors its mysteries on the opposite side of the world. The zone of silence in Mexico blocks radio waves. The Hesteland Valley in Norway produces glowing orbs that move with intelligence. Scientists have theories magnetic anomalies, underground structures, atmospheric plasma, but no definitive answer. These places suggest that Earth contains pockets where the rules of physics bend, twist, or break entirely. What causes these anomalies? Are they natural, artificial, or something else entirely? Throughout history, inventions appear long before they should. Ancient batteries capable of generating electricity. Precision cut stone impossible with bronze tools. Maps showing Antarctica centuries before its discovery. The Antikythera mechanism, a 2-year-old analog computer predicted eclipses with astonishing accuracy. Metal alloys found in ancient ruins contain elements that should not have been available at the time. These anomalies suggest that human innovation may not be linear. Knowledge may have been gained, lost, and rediscovered many times. Or perhaps ancient cultures had access to information we no longer understand. Quantum physics reveals a universe stranger than fiction. Particles teleport information. Observation changes reality. Matter appears and disappears. Time behaves inconsistently. These discoveries challenge the idea of a stable, physical universe. They suggest that reality is not solid, it is probabilistic, informational, and deeply interconnected. The more we study the quantum world, the more we realize that the impossible is simply the unexplained. Science is not closing the gap between the known and the unknown, it is widening it. Nature is not random, it follows patterns mathematical, geometric, and energetic. The Fibonacci sequence appears in flowers, storms, galaxies, and DNA. Fractals shape coastlines, trees, and neural networks. Symmetry governs particles and molecules. These patterns suggest that the universe is not chaotic, it is structured. There is a hidden order beneath everything, a blueprint that shapes life, matter, and even thought. Understanding these patterns may reveal the underlying code of reality. Thoughts generate electrical and magnetic fields. Emotions change the chemistry of the body. Beliefs shape perception. Expectations influence outcomes. The placebo effect proves that belief can heal. The nocebo effect proves that fear can harm. The mind does not simply observe reality, it interacts with it. Some scientists believe consciousness may be a fundamental force of the universe, capable of shaping probability and influencing physical systems. If this is true, mind being is a force. After exploring the impossible, one truth becomes clear. Our world is far stranger, deeper, and more mysterious than we ever imagined. Nature breaks its own rules. Humans exceed their limits. Ancient civilizations knew the impossible. Science uncovers paradoxes. Reality bends, shifts, and hides secrets in every corner. We are only beginning to understand the world we live in. If this journey opened your mind, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more deep explorations. Your curiosity fuels this channel. Let's uncover the next mystery together. We like to believe we are in control of our lives. We make choices, set goals, build routines, and imagine that our decisions shape our destiny. But beneath the surface of everyday life, there are invisible forces, subtle, powerful, and often unnoticed, that influence our thoughts, our emotions, our behavior, and even the direction of our lives. Some of these forces come from nature. Some come from society, some come from the mind itself, and some come from places we still cannot explain. These forces operate quietly, silently guiding us like currents beneath the ocean. We rarely notice them, yet they shape everything we do. One of the most powerful invisible forces is the subconscious mind. It processes millions of pieces of information every second, far more than the conscious mind ever could. It detects patterns, senses done or influences decisions long before we become aware of them. It stores memories we cannot consciously recall, yet those memories shape our fears, our desires, and our habits. Another invisible force is emotion. We think emotions are reactions, but in reality, they are drivers. They influence how we interpret events, how we remember the past, and how we imagine the future. A single emotion can change the way we see the world. Fear narrows perception, joy expands it. Sadness slows time. Excitement speeds it up. Then there is intuition, a mysterious sense that seems to know things before the conscious mind does. Intuition is not magic. It is the brain recognizing patterns too complex for conscious thought. It is the mind connecting dots we do not even realize exist. Some people call it instinct. Others call it a sixth sense. Whatever it is, intuition often guides us more accurately than logic. But the invisible forces shaping our lives are not only internal, they are also external. Social influence is one of the strongest forces in human behavior. We mirror the emotions of people around us. We adopt their habits, their beliefs, their fears, and their expectations. Entire groups can shift behavior simply because one person changes their tone, their posture, or their confidence. Humans are wired for connection, and that connection shapes us more than we realize. There are also environmental forces, subtle cues in our surroundings that influence our mood, our energy, and our decisions. Colors affect emotion. Sounds affect concentration. Smells trigger memories. Even the layout of a room can change how we think and behave. But perhaps the most mysterious, invisible forces are the ones we still cannot explain. There are people who sense danger moments before it happens. People who feel when someone is watching them. People who wake up seconds before an earthquake. People who know a loved one is in trouble without receiving any message. Science calls these coincidences. But the frequency of these experiences suggests something deeper, something we do not yet understand. Some researchers believe humans may have subtle senses that have not been fully studied. A sensitivity to electromagnetic fields. A biological awareness of atmospheric changes. A subconscious ability to detect micro-expressions and micro-movements. Or perhaps something even more mysterious, an intuitive connection between minds. Then there are the invisible forces of the universe itself. Gravity shapes our bodies. Magnetic fields influence our nervous system. Solar storms affect mood and behavior. The Earth's rotation influences sleep cycles. We are not separate from nature, we are part of it. And nature shapes us in ways we rarely notice. When we step back and look at all these forces together, a profound truth emerges. We are not isolated beings. We are part of a vast network of influences, internal, external, natural, social, and perhaps even cosmic. Our lives are shaped by currents we cannot see, yet they guide us every day. Understanding these forces does not take away our freedom, it expands it. Because once we see the invisible, we can learn to navigate it. We can learn to use intuition instead of ignoring it. We can learn to shape our environment instead of being shaped by it. We can learn to understand our emotions instead of being controlled by them. We can learn to recognize the subtle signals of the world around us. And perhaps, by understanding these invisible forces, we can begin to understand ourselves